Welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. You know what I hate having to restart the laptop multiple times. Seriously, see this face? Wait, wrong. This face right here, this is the face I made. Having to freaking restart my freaking laptop multiple times. But anyways, welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo and all that. Okay, before I begin, a few things. This image that I keep forgetting to show, I drew it ages ago. I think it was probably last month, even I can't even remember at this point. But I did a drawing inspired by Bob Ross. I was like, you know what, let's draw scenery, but a portrait of an anime character. Just an original character in general, and then I went all abstract with it and just random. I will show it here. Neat. Second of all, you know that I'm not going to be LP in Project Zero. No, not Project Zero. Project Diva F second. Well, because all the things I went over quite a while back, really. But the point is, you remember that random editing I did with Misha doing the conductor thing in Muller 3? Well, I added to that with that, so show that here. So yeah, now you got a full party there. Also, might as well show this one with the puppy. Either I did in the studio mode or not. Right here. Isn't that adorable? Now, without further delay, is there anything else to say? Ah, yes. It feels a bit weird, really. You know, I've actually been doing recording for October. You know, with my October LPs I tend to do every year. And, you know, as is becoming a bit of a tradition with this channel, it's like sneak preview. So it's a game called Hell Knight that I've started recording for. It's an obscure horror game, and I will obviously will LP some other games as well for October, because Hell Knight is pretty short, and I will show a random clip from it here. Just stop. This place was designed for dodging, and now it's living up to its full potential. Okie dokie, isn't that neat and all? So let's, without further delay, begin. I'm not your roomie, we don't live in the same room. Doesn't matter. It does, you should at least know the difference between living in the same building and living in the same room. I need to use your room. For what? I messed up, I should have said absolutely not. Student council keeps delivering my mail, even though I asked them to put it in my locker or something. But they keep putting it under my door, delivering my mail without me noticing it. So today, I'm lying in wait to catch them in the act, like a detective or a safari hunter. I need to chill in your room for today and look through the little peephole, or I won't be able to catch them in the act, and maybe tomorrow too. It'll be awesome. We'll get pizza on both days. Or should we get pizza on just one day and something else on the other day? But what? And which day is pizza day? Not today, never. You know, I'm in the student council. Why didn't you just ask me about this? If he had, I would have been able to find out very easily and wouldn't have to have Kenji in my room. It's win-win, except I guess this way he might be able to get a pizza out of me. I started thinking maybe that was Kenji's intention. But no, I doubt it. There's no way he could plan something that elaborate. You know, when they deliver mail, well, no. Just hand me my mail when I go to the student council, usually. The point is, I could find out by asking them. Then I know and I can tell you. That's how people find things out, by asking. Not caveman. Ah, yeah, no response to that, right? Checkmate. Use your own people. When do they see me? They can't. That's how peepholes work. It's like a one-way glass. For real? Well, no way. They'll be expecting me to be in my room anyway. They'll sense my presence and know I'm there. They'd expect me to actually be in the room across the hall. I'm going to go to the student council room and go get your mail for you right now. Then I guess I can't let you leave. That's dumb. What if I have to use the toilet? Your games won't work on me. I sit down at my desk and start doing my homework for the weekend. You know, you're going to have to leave eventually, so can't you stay here forever or keep me here forever? I mean, this is my room to start with. Wait, you can't, I mean, not can. Yeah, I don't think I can. What time's the mail usually come? now. Why are women so slow? Why do you care so much about the mail anyway? Are you expecting something? I'm always expecting something. Not today, though. Do you want them to send something? Do you even send mail? No, that's how they get you. I haven't used a mail since I was 8. Sent a letter to Lego asking them to make Dragon Ball Legos. What? You mean Dragon Ball as in the Dragon Ball? As in the series? The franchise? Usually in visual novels, when they reference another series, don't they usually kind of make it obvious, but don't actually say what it actually is? I don't know. They said that you couldn't get the rights and gave me some coupons. Totally worth it. But after that, I made sure to stay off the radar. You don't use mail, do you? I wrote to my parents last week. But that's how they get you. Yes, I should have known. Maybe that's why they put the microchip in me the next day. So, the rumors were true. I'd like to know what rumor mill he got that from. I was kidding, it's a joke. Joke? Damn, you would joke on me? I guess this is how it feels, to have jokes cracked on. I never thought it happened to me. It's a serious issue, man. I think you're not appreciating the depths of my dilemma. It's a work in many acts, complicated acts with many players. It's really hard, okay? After I'm done, I'm gonna go eat a whole fish to celebrate. Ah, shit, I wanted a pizza, though. I still want pizza. Can I get fish on the pizza? Do they do that now? You're gonna be paying for it. Still haven't paid me back, and I'm not hungry right now anyway. Not a move for pizza? That's just not possible, son. It's gotta be pizza. Anyway, I'm in the pizza stage of my life. Before I was on an ice cream stage, but my girlfriend kept eating all the strawberry out of my Napoleon. It'll probably happen to you, too. It's hard to tell if he's serious half the time. I can only see his expression when he's not nose deep in my door. I doubt that. Hey, you know what I do? That I do have a girlfriend, right? Not a Iwanako either. Student council president, actually. Old news. What? Seriously? I have my sources. Anyway, then it dawned on me that I had gotten fat from all that ice cream. It was a rude awakening, like sleeping on a beach and getting hit by a wave that destroys a sandcastle. I started running, had to lose the pounds, but maybe I was really running away from myself. A sudden and continuous knocking caused him to leap backwards far enough to hit the wall all the way behind him. I take the opportunity to walk over and open the door. Good morning. What's up? I hear if you salt the doorway, they can't enter uninvited. I'm not going to put salt in my doorway. But you're considering it. Good. Good morning. Are you here to deliver the mail? Nodding, Shizune waves a couple envelopes between our faces. I take them from her, freeing up her hands for conversation. How did you know? How did you know? How did you know? I have to ask you that twice. You were hiding it behind your back in a very... Fuck off, man, with that shit. You were hiding it behind your back in a really obvious way. Hiding what? The mail. It's okay, I wasn't trying very hard to hide it in the first place. That's not like you. You're the type of person who'd go, anything worth trying is worth trying hard. Girls taking initiative. And what about me? It's been using I've been using that phrase for years. Where's my parade, dog? I spit literally gold and the women just steal it and wear it out like a 2-for-2 sundress. You're all like the pick out to my Kirk. Or you could even be Janeway. I'm not sure about the Janeway bit, but I recognize Picard and Kirk. That's Star Trek, isn't it? Again, it's just like referencing actual franchises within it. They usually don't do that. Not all the time. Are you making fun of me? Finally noticing Kenji, she gives him a wave. Hey, Kenji, the student council president says hi. Hi. Introduce me. I have no idea what he was saying, but it looked confident. Oh boy! Oh yes, no one is better at saying that kind of stuff confidently. I already did. I even introduced you by title. This is Kenji. He's the guy across the hall. His room is right behind you. Anyway, you have his mail too. You know, if he's saying that out loud, Kenji must be like, "You son of a bitch! You betrayed my location!" I'm only delivering your mail because it was there. I have early access. It's all about location. Consider it as a perk of being in the student council. That doesn't sound very fair. She takes a lot of liberties with her position. At least they're small ones. It's the first time I've really been able to see your room. It's a blatant lie, or she'd have signed it much faster. I'm sure Shizune remembers that it's not the first time. Is he finally gonna reveal his condition? Because it's kind of surprising how long it's been into this route, and how long the route has been in general. But he hasn't actually told her about that, has he? I mean, I remember him telling Lily that pretty early on, and we haven't even got to Lily's routes. I think it only happened in Hanukkah's route so far, but it was pretty early on, you know? Why does he get to see your room and I can't? Is it a guy thing? It's not a secret club being a guy. It should be, with rings. Rings with big-ass emblems, gold. Are you sure? Are you really sure? I always thought that there was a secret brotherhood of men. Why is she ignoring me? Let me tell her about the guy club. Also, what's up with the hand signals? She trying to hex me or something? No, it's sign language, you dumbass. No, stay out of this. I'll have to translate anything you say to her, and I'm not sure if I could even handle it. And she'll probably misunderstand it, and then you'll probably misunderstand the reply, and I'll have to translate your rebuttal. Rebuttal? Why would I rebut? I like my butt. What? What is he saying? Yeah, translating Kenji for her would probably just confuse the shit out of her. He says he has no rebuttal. Rebuttal to what? I haven't even begun to challenge him yet. Oh, that would be a bizarre challenge, wouldn't it? How would she challenge him, and to what? Would she try to out-crazy him? Because I don't think she would succeed. Well, you never know. She is overly competitive. She might go there. I don't like the way she put that, so it appears that she wants to... But about what? It doesn't matter, since it wouldn't end well. Don't pick fights when they're on them. I've never met your friends. Why can't I? It looks like he's being passionate. I suppose with the way he's flailing around, it would be stupid to expect Shizune to think otherwise. Anyway, I'd better change subject. Not that it would be likely to work on her, but I'm sure that she has to have come here for a reason. I'll just drop my bell off. If it was something that tiny, she wouldn't even bother knocking. You didn't come here just to give me my mail or chat up my friends, did you? Shizune snaps her fingers in mock frustration. It's as cringe-inducingly loud as ever. You're right. Let's go somewhere again. Do you have somewhere in mind already? You're right again. Let's go to the usual place. She whips out a bag of neatly wrapped containers from just outside the door frame. I'm guessing they're filled with food, and this time it doesn't look store-bought. Sitting it down between her feet, she continues. Is that for me? This was the real surprise, see? I have to have something over everyone at the very end. I agree in the way people normally do when people make a statement in front of them that tells more than they meant to tell. Well, fine, if you're both going to ignore me, I'm out here. So cruel. You'll regret this. CG! Hisao looks a little high there. He's like, oh man, what did you put in that food? Not long afterwards, we find ourselves on the school roof. Is it normally deserted at this time? On a nice day like this on the weekend? No, of course not. I can only think that it's because of Shizune. Not that clearing out a roof would require anything more than posting a sign on the door. The empty plastic containers Shizune had packed our meal in lie next to me. It was another quiet meal, since holding chopsticks prevent us from saying much to each other. Well, it's not blowing hard enough to be a problem. The wind is a little strong today. It blows the plastic bag loose from under the empty containers, so it whips around for a bit before rolling off my legs and getting caught on the tip of Shizune's shoe. That reminds me, I always have my fan on, and like, when I have my freaking guitar tab sheets out to practice, like, got like living on a prayer to learn. I've kind of learned it, but at the same time I haven't. Solo, piece of piss. The lead bit's piece of piss. Need to work on the time of the riff, but it's the freaking rhythm in the chorus and the bridge that throws me off. And like, it's printed out 5 different sheets, and the fan keeps me cool, you know. So I'm gonna freaking turn that off because it blows the sheets all over the place, and I have to switch between 5 different sheets. I'm just like, what a pain in the ass, because it freaking changes the rhythm in each freaking chorus and bridge. It's such a pain in the ass. And I wouldn't think that would be a freaking Bon Jovi song. But, yeah. Immediately, she grabs and starts signing. That face, like, Not looking happy that I'm laughing at her, even though she is trying not to let out a laugh herself. With the bag in the way, however, she has to eventually sit on it to continue. Very funny. How was it? Her posture there looks a bit awkwardish. Food, it tasted familiar. On his face, he really does. He looks high. It's just like, yeah, look at my smile and my eyes. That means it was bad. No, I remember eating this exact meal before, when you made it. Not exactly the same, the fried shrimp was new. It's the only thing I know how to make, but I should have improved. How many times have you made it before? This is the second time. Making this particular meal? Cooking. Next time it's your turn to try it. The way she keeps tugging on the corner of the bag is bothering me. I think I know why she's doing it. Is it really bugging you that much? I want to pack them up properly. It's okay, I'll get them. As I'm picking them up, I realize she must have brought a lot of food to be able to fill all these containers. I didn't even eat much. Shizune must have some metabolism in order to pack all that away. Even though I've only been up for a second, it's long enough to stupidly trip over my own feet. Barely managing to break my fall, I end up landing on my elbows and knees right next to Shizune's lap. Well, this happened last time as well, didn't it? Well, that was ages ago, but back when he was still at our house and they tripped over into a suggested... Actually, that makes sense. They're following a pattern here, that's gonna lead to one of those scenes. Probably not on the roof itself, because that'd be a bit, well, I wouldn't be... Well, I'd be a bit surprised, but not 100% surprised, if that makes any sense. But don't you just hate tripping over? Especially when people are around, because then you look even more like an idiot than you would if you were on your own and tripped over. As I pull myself back up, hand gently held on my chest, all I can think about is how my knees hurt and how this fall could have killed me. I feel nauseous. Shizune gives a helpful push on my shoulder to help me upright, though I notice her eyeing me oddly. Unfortunately, even a light shove is enough to take me by surprise. Well, seeing as that's happening right here, that might be an indication that he's finally going to freaking tell her about his damn condition. Are you okay? I nod, but we don't return to sitting beside each other. Naturally, being alone with Shizune is going to involve a lot of silence, but I only start to notice it now. The typical sign of awkwardness. Again, she's the one to break the ice. I was expecting you to try something dirty. And the mood is back to awkward. How's Misha? And now it's back to awkward again, probably. Misha seems happier now, back to her old self. I thought this would be a good way to celebrate and to thank you for helping her. Well, it was more of, well, actually he did, sort of, with some of the things he said to her. But also, like, notice, like, the difference in that roof scene was Shizune was the one to be like, okay, we're gonna go now, instead of Hisao having to force Misha instead, or something, I can't remember. Her hand stumbles for a bit on the last word. You think too much like a businesswoman. I can't help it, it's how I've been taught to do things. It makes me happy that you're asking about Misha. It would be more accurate to say back to her real self. She'd only be back to her old self to you. The Misha you know is completely different from the one I think of. When I think of the first time we met, even though I think she looks better, cheerful and smiling, that isn't how she typically is. I wonder if it's true for you too. I don't answer. Well, if Misha's happy, then it doesn't matter. If it worked out in the end, your plan worked. You know her just as well as you said. You knew everything she would say. If your idea was to just that I'd speak for you, though, doesn't that just make me your puppet? I didn't do anything then. Not true, it was your idea first. I was wrong. I have a way of seeing things that are very flawed, now that I've thought about it. I'm sure you know, sometimes I treat everything like a competition between myself and everyone else, even when it doesn't make sense to. Sometimes? I know very well how easy it is to ignore someone if they can only communicate with you through sign. I should have asked for help, but I was so sure I could do it on my own. It was actually a brave thing you did, even if you won't take credit for it. Aside from that, you've really become kind of admirable lately. It's strange having her compliment me while her facial expression hasn't changed in the slightest. But people don't change so easily, according to you, am I right? She winks, clearly enjoying herself very much. Does Misha tell you everything? Almost everything. I guess you're going to tell me that I am wrong about that, aren't you? Yes and no. I'm the one who told Misha that before anyone else, but she took it too far and changed the meaning. It's not easy, but she acts like that makes it impossible. It's possible, if you go little by little. I'm considering trying to be less competitive. I thought you enjoyed that, though. Maybe just a little. That's why I specifically used lefts. She leans against the fence. I have things I want to say to her, but it doesn't seem like the right time for it somehow. It's a feeling I have. I can tell she isn't done just yet. A lot of people think I try too hard. Well, I've always thought that I try just enough. The sound the fence makes as she pushes against it, and the delicate clink of her sleeve button scraping against the links are oddly soothing. So is the breeze gently picking up behind me. I can hear people below us. Shizune's eyes dart below us as well, and I wonder if she still thinks about what she might be missing out on. The attention-grabbing way she tends to snap her fingers proves she has an understanding of how other people perceive sound. It must be odd, being able to understand that much but unable to experience it yourself. She starts walking slowly around the perimeter of the roof, still scraping her buttons against the fence. It isn't rhythmic at all, though not for a lack of trying. I sort of zone out in thought while she does, and I'm rudely snapped out of it when she circles around completely and taps me on the shoulder. Do you remember what we were talking about? When? Now? Of course, it just happened. It's been almost 10 minutes. When I first saw you, you seemed like you were very attached to the idea of feeling sorry for yourself. That stings, even if it is true. Sorry. It made me want to cheer you up at first sight. I was scared it would be for nothing, though. I couldn't help thinking it would be hard to change your mind. But you did. I thought that was very surprising. I also thought you might be kind of easily influenced. Still, I was surprised. It made me reconsider a lot of things. Like, that maybe everything was worth it in the end. Everything? That's why I like you. I see. It's nice to finally know. Dip, 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 chip, 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 chip. As I was doing that, the bird doesn't even chirp along. What the hell, bird? And remember, you have to take this job seriously. Too many people think you can just slack off, and that it isn't important. That is a very dangerous way of thinking. What the hell, man? We're just thrown right into the middle of a conversation in the next scene.
Definitely, you can't take it too seriously. If you aren't always thinking big, thinking positive, and if you know any signs of weakness, people will start to think you're incompetent, you know?
Wait. Definitely can't take it too seriously if you aren't always thinking big, thinking positive, if you're any sign of weakness. So if you're not thinking positive, you're incompetent, or people will start to think you're incompetent, or what? That's me and the incompetence then, isn't it? My mind is a very cynical and pessimistic mind with the odds. It's like the weather in the UK, just like, and rare bouts of sunshine, occasionally, rarely, sometimes, I don't know, but mostly just rain and clouds and all that shit. What else was it? Thinking big. Wow, that's me. It doesn't freaking help me much, though. I mean, thinking big is just like, what is the meaning of life? What is the point in all of life? You're born, you grow up, you learn, you get a job, you work for most of your life. These are the expectations of society. You do all this, and at the end of it all, maybe get married, reproduce. What more is there to it? Is that all there is to this life? And then I'm just like, kind of mixed up. Kind of pessimistic, cynical side makes sense, doesn't it? When it's like the song goes, life's a piece of shit when you look at it. But then there's the bit where it's always like, always look on the bright side of life. How? Well, what is the bright side of life? I don't know. Life is kind of shitty for the most part.
And soon you won't be able to do anything because your power's going to be delegated off to others piece by piece, and you'll be left with nothing. That's what happened last time. Oh wait, you weren't saying that enthusiastically then. So remember, it may seem like an easy job, but a lot of carnage can happen in this room. And out of it, dealing with school staff too. Even trying to get a budget report from a class rep can be a fight to the death, sometimes.
Yeah, it's kill or be killed. There are no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. You sure about this? Is this right?
You don't seem excited enough. I have to make sure it's getting through properly. Once more, with feeling.
More emotion, damn it! That's better. I'm doing it better than I freaking did years ago. I remember, like, a while back, I was like, browsed through my old Parasite Eve LP. I can't even remember when I LP'd that. Probably like 2011 or 12. So that was a long time ago. And my voice acting in that LP was fucking terrible. Absolutely god awful. So my voice acting may still be pretty crap, but it's a hell of a big improvement compared to how it was back in the day. What the fuck? Shizune twists her hands like a maestro for emphasis, visibly intimidating the two girls standing at attention in front of us. I think this all started because one of them asked if she wasn't taking her job too seriously. So, what the fuck? They actually get their own appearance? You're just like, they're background characters, but hell, they probably even have names. Do you understand? Do you understand? Pretend I'm shouting it. Which one is which? Okay, this student council is so weird. Yes, sir. Sir, who are you guys talking to anyway? It's not weird, you have to think of it as a job. If you want, think of it like they are paying you with the right to use this great office. So is this like, okay, try to inspire them to take interest in the student council? Maybe are they the candidates? I have no idea. This scene we were just thrown into the scene for crying out loud. You want another lecture? No! You can go now. I don't know which of them was which, honestly. Just like that, the hour-long student council orientation is over. So they must have been then. Personally, I thought it was about 50 minutes too long. I also found it funny that it incorporated a tour of a school that we have all been going to for a while, but I guess it doesn't hurt. I expect Shizune to fall back into her chair, since she has been on edge all day, but she doesn't. She continues pacing the room restlessly. They still have a long way to go. Right now they're a joke. What, so they are going to be the replacement student council then? Eh? That eh? What? They think they can be the new student council. They're so unfocused. You can really see the lack of experience. This was our best year yet. I don't think they have what it takes to be our follow-up act. And I know there are more of them than those two girls. Where are they? They're like the heavily marketed but mediocre big-budget, critically panned sequel to the acclaimed low-budget sleeper hit. Well, that's usually how sequels go. Well, I mean, it's not always how sequels go. Sometimes a sequel can even be better than the original. And sometimes it can be just as good. But for the most part, it's like... Take Disney films, for example. Like Toy Story. It's had 2 sequels, and each of them had, like, kind of a boom kind of feel to them. Because, you know, people paid attention. But other Disney films had sequels, and you never hear about them because... Well, they were that underwhelming that they didn't even bother putting them in cinemas or anything. Just like, oh, straight to DVD. But then you got like the bigger ones like that, you know? What other ones can I think of? I remember the Addams Family movies. First, like I'm not sure, maybe I don't know, the early 90s one. And then its sequel. Its sequel was also really good, I remember. So that's another case of a sequel actually being pretty good as well. I find it hard to think of movies with a sequel, though. At least a sequel that's actually, you know, good. Well, whatever, you get the idea. Not all sequels are bad, but for the most part, they tend to be pretty mediocre, as she says. Eventually, she does stop and sits down. Are you gonna miss it? Obviously. I'd be happier if I didn't have to leave too.
I like being in the student council, even if it can be tiring too.
Yeah, it's definitely tiring.
Only because Shi-chan's always trying to do more than she has to. You're forgetting that if I did the bare minimum, we wouldn't do anything all year except hand out flyers, collect surveys, and plan the next student council election so the next student council could sit around for another year of doing nothing. Ask me to let that happen? Don't be ridiculous. In a student council like that, there wouldn't even be any power to play around with. I'm just happy that even though I clearly need to ride them harder, those two aren't bad. Not there yet, but the new student council should be in good hands.
She was just slagging them off, and now he's like, oh, they've got potential though. How can you tell?
After the festival, they asked me if we could also organize a Halloween event, like a haunted house or something along those lines. They had a bunch of other ideas as well. Cliché haunted house.
It's always a haunted house, isn't it? So it's like, yeah, that was in Dark Carpet 2, wasn't it? Where it was like haunted house or what was the other one? It was the puppet show thing. The puppet show was certainly different. Haunted house is kind of a tradition thing, it seems. But what else can you do for a Halloween event? A haunted house, and there probably is other stuff you could do, but a haunted house seems like a kind of traditional, standard, typical idea, I know. But it's something.
Of course my response was no. Had Misha tell them to do it themselves, if they wanted it so badly. They were angry for some reason. Ha ha!
Of course they'd be angry if you said that. And Misha delivering the message wouldn't help.
I was angry too. All of a sudden they want so much. If they wanted a haunted house or a traditional style cafe or a trip to the beach or whatever other cliché thing, why didn't they try to organize it before? It was like they were taking advantage of me. I worked hard to organize those festivals, and in return they came to me with, that was nice, but can you do this now? How about doing this? It's what I really want. Shi-chan was wrong though. Right, they wanted to join the student council so they could make it happen. I made them feel jealous and riled them up. That can be a kind of motivation too. The desire to do something great spreads, even if they show me up. They decided to take me up on the challenge nonetheless. I'm impressed. Well, for now. I would have to see how it plays out a little longer in order to know for sure.
She snaps her fingers suddenly, which sends Misha almost bolting out of her seat. Interesting. I guess it is impossible to get used to.
That's right. We were going to have a party to celebrate passing the reins to the new student council, weren't we? Why not have that now? Or at least plan it now and have it tomorrow.
But they're not even in charge yet. In fact, that's the first thing you told them. You're not in charge yet. It seems premature.
Misha, what do you think? I agree, it's too early. Plus, I don't think I could go anywhere. Anyways, sorry, in fact, I was going to leave right now. Why not? No comment!
No comments on my videos. That is certainly true. Well, not really. It's just it's kind of go back to that whole, it's like, oh, the pessimistic kind of thing where it's just like compared my mind to the weather report. It's kind of like the rarity and the sunshine on that. It's just like, no, it's usually rain and clouds. That's how comments are like on my videos. Not as in like negative comments outweigh the positive or anything, but the fact that there barely are any comments.
Come on, tell me. Well, okay.
Way to not crack under pressure, Misha.
I thought about it, and even if I didn't want to go, I would say yes. Usually, it's the kind of person I am. I really should stop doing that, and this is a good place to start, I think. If it's a celebration to say goodbye, I don't want it. It'll be too sad. I want to do something else instead, and after all, He-chan, you, and Shi-chan will still be here tomorrow. Doesn't seem right. Besides, I have other school things I have to do today. I can't drop them just like that. We can postpone it. No early goodbyes.
She looks very firm as she says this. Aren't you going to go now, though?
Oh, that's right. Haha. Okay, besides now, no too early goodbyes, okay? I can't. Okay, later.
With that, it's just Shizune and I left alone in the student council room.